If you appreciate horror movies like I do, then you probably really enjoy Shudder. And Shudder just dropped this newest found footage movie called BodyCam. If you haven't seen this one yet, you're not missing a masterpiece by any means, but you're not dodging a disaster either. It's a complete middle of the road type of experience. We're talking about a gritty first person cop thriller that sprints out of the gate, but starts to trip over his own shoelaces as we start getting through the film. So today we're going to be talking about the shaky cameras, the squandered tension, and why this movie had me pretty conflicted even with a 75-minute runtime. The setup for Body Cam is what honestly drew me to hit play on it. You've got two cops rolling up on a call that is about to turn to absolute chaos, payback, and a supernatural twist. And it's all viewed through the lens of a claustrophobic police body cam. It's a fantastic anxiety-inducing gimmick for a horror movie. For the first half, that restricted perspective really traps you in the dark with these characters. But as the story unfolds, the movie starts to forget what made it scary in the first place. Instead of relying on that raw, gritty realism, it starts leaning into the standard over-the-top horror movie cliches that start watering down the entire experience. I thought using the body cameras as a found footage was a really good way to create immediate tension. The limited field of vision that you have makes every turn feel a little bit real as they turn down these dark hallways or go down these dark staircases. But these cool camera tricks can only take a movie so far. The actual plot that was happening right in front of the lens was truly kind of thin. We genuinely get some unsettling moments early on in the film, but as the film goes on, we go into the classic haunted house horror movie tropes. Now, the one thing you can't say about this film is that it's boring, because it's not boring at all. It moves at a breakneck pace, and that kind of becomes a double-edged sword for it, because on one hand, the movie never drags, but then on the other hand, all the screaming and yelling and the running around and moving, it never really gives us a chance to truly care about these officers in the first place. Like, once the chaos starts to kick in a high gear, the camera starts shaking a lot. And honestly, it kind of makes for a little bit of a hard experience because you can't always make out who's coming or what may be trying to attack them until basically it's right up on them, right in the camera. One thing that frustrated me about this movie was how it handles its setup of this gritty urban environment that was hyper realistic, but then it abandons that tone altogether once the threat fully arrives. The scares in this film transition from the grounded psychological scares to the in-your-face monster moments. And honestly, it didn't really feel like that belonged in this movie. It seemed like they were reaching for something with that, or just doing it for the hell of just trying to be scary. By the time we get to the end, the movie has basically lost all of its steam. And like I said, it's only an hour and 10, an hour and 15 minutes long. So it's not a very long watch. But by the time we get to the last 10 or 15 minutes or so, the movie to me is completely flat at that point. Instead of an ending that relies on a terrifying, limited perspective that they had been building towards the entire movie, it devolves into the messy, CGI heavy finale. It honestly feels pretty disjointed from how grounded the film felt when it started. It leaves you watching the credits like, damn, the first 30 minutes of this movie was pretty damn good, and it promised a much better and scarier movie. By the time the credits start rolling, you're left sitting there thinking, damn, man, those first 30 minutes of this film just built up to a much better and scarier movie that the last 15 minutes or so did not deliver on. So for me, like I said, this movie lands right in the middle for me. I would give this a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It gets points for me for being genuinely unsettling in the first act. And then that creative use of the found footage with the body camera, I thought that was pretty cool and not necessarily original, but the way they used it in this sense was pretty cool to me. But it loses a lot of points for me with that paper thin plot. And then some of that aggressive camera work was, a little bit unneeded. And then that finale just completely drops the ball for me. So if you're one of those hardcore found footage people, then go run to this movie right away because you'll really enjoy it. But I'm not saying don't watch it. I think this is worth a watch, just not something that you just have to go run to, you know, wait for a rainy Sunday or something like that and then give it a check because It'll be really good on a day like that. So what did you guys think about Body Cam if you've seen it? Or let me know if you're going to watch it. And if you do watch it, let me come back and let me know what you think in the comments. And thank you guys for watching. And I appreciate you again. And I will see you next time. Bye.